So Stuart, a bit of a tough afternoon today. I guess you could possibly ask for a worse opening fixture away to probably the favourites to win the league and away from home. Your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You've seen the quality of John's team in the first 60 minutes, although I thought we were poor in our own play, but that's not taking anything away from Hamilton, who were excellent and thoroughly deserved to be in front at that stage of the game. But I thought we got a reaction once subs we changed it about a little bit, and we certainly put them under a bit of pressure towards the end, Brian. But ultimately, at 2-0, it's a hard ask. And you're right, it's no game you come here expecting to win, but yet you're hoping that you give a better account and be more of a threat in the first 60 minutes than we were. It was, and then we lose it again from our point of view. A really poor goal, 45th minute. We're asking the guys to manage the game the last couple of minutes and get in at 0-0 and can maybe regroup and get a chat and see if we can pose more a threat to Hamilton, because I thought they dominated the ball, dominated the game first half. I'm sure you see the stats where Webby and Ewan played most of the first half. It was in our own half, so we need to look at that and try and get them further up the pitch, because that's where they're effective. So, but over the piece, as I say, it's not a game you're going to come and expect to win. You're right, they probably are title favourites, and rightly so, because when you see that on display there, and ultimately they wouldn't be in this league if it wasn't for them being deducted points. So we're aware of that, but yeah, ultimately we need to look after ourselves and try and do as best we can. And I thought for 60 minutes we weren't as good as what we could be.
Yeah, and I mean, do you worry at all? I mean, if you look back to the Dundee game, barring the last 10 minutes last week, it was a kind of an early goal first half, an early goal second half, which are obviously poor times to lose goals. And today, as you say, almost the last kick of the first half just completely changes the dynamic of the game.
Yeah, because ultimately, if you go in at half time 0-0, you're going in and if you're John going in at 0-0, you'd be bitterly disappointed to go in 0-0. There's no doubt about that. And I was just speaking in there, but we did the same thing. Bonnyrigg, we lost a goal with the last kick of the first half. Luckily enough, I got a reaction at the start of the second half, but no disrespect to Bonnyrigg, but there's a different standard between Bonnyrigg and Hamilton, who are full time, obviously. So it's when you're here, you can't give teams anything. You've got to ride your luck at times and defend and stop crosses and get to the ball first, and we didn't do that on this occasion. We got punished, and then we're actually having a decent enough wee spell, I thought, at the start of the second half without looking a real threat. And then we'll give the ball away and get done with a counter attack. And at 2-0, it's an uphill struggle here, especially in the heat and the size of the pitch. But stuck to our task, and we could have maybe nicked one towards the end there as well with a couple of half chances, but it wasn't to be. So we'll regroup. We're not going to read too much into it. You're playing one of the title favourites away from home first game, so not one that we're expecting, as I say, to win, but I'd still expect a better performance, especially in that first 60 minutes.
Yeah. You were able to make one or two changes to the starting 11 today, including Callum returning, coming in midweek. You must be delighted with it.
Delighted with him. I thought he got better as the game went on. He's coming fairly match fit. He's been playing with Hearts, but he's not been around the boys, and he just come back in on Thursday. So really happy to have him back. Gives this quality in there. Can put his foot on the ball and pass it. So I think as the game went on, he got better as the game went on. Within that, so he'll be a vital member as he was last year. I thought when he came in last year that he gave us that little lift in the middle of the park, and I'm sure he'll do it this year. Just probably the downside is injuries to Graham Webster, who I thought who's been excellent pre-season. Looked back to the old Graham Webster, and even today put some really dangerous crosses in. So that's a big blow for us. And Kieran will just have to assess them this week and see how they are injury wise. But it's a blow when you get injured in the first game of the season, that's for sure.
Yeah. So looking ahead, next week, first home game, new pitch, new dugouts. There's so much changing around the stadium over the summer, and the welcoming Celtic Hearts.
Yeah, the work that the directors have done and the volunteers over the summer has been immense, and what they've done to the place is fantastic, and we're all looking forward to it. The new pitch, we certainly knew last season it was beginning to wear. We're not going to kid ourselves on, so it'll be nice to go on a nice surface again like this one was. Obviously when it's hot like this it gets a bit sticky, but looking forward to it against Celtic, who they're always tight games. I don't know what their score was today, but anyway, we'll know what it's like. So ideally you want to go off to a winning start quickly, especially at home, because I felt last year that our home form wasn't good enough, and that was one of the reasons why we're down the bottom half of the table. So it's something we're looking to rectify, and no better time to do it than next week. We keep saying it's important not to lose 2 games on the trot because you're losing a lot of ground. So hopefully we can rectify that next week. But again, there's no easy games in this league. We know that. But we'll certainly we'll get the guys back in, freshened up on Tuesday. Then we'll try and get a team out there that we think's right to get us in a position to beat Kelly.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, Brian.